I already took it out of the like exterior packaging because I didn't want to accidentally show my address. But we're not going to focus today. Okay. The first thing you see when you do open the external box is this. I did not get the controller, and I don't think it comes with a controller. I wasn't one of the lucky YouTubers that got it sent for review. And they got sent like 4 controllers. That was ridiculous. But, anyways, I do not have the 8-bit dough 64 controller. I do have the Brawler 64. No, this one. I have this controller that does work on it, I'm pretty sure, but we'll test that out later. This is just going to be an unboxing. The full review for this console should be up on the channel the same time you're seeing this. So that'll be linked down below for the full review or at the end in the cards, hopefully. But QR codes to update the firmware for both 3DOS, which is the operating system for this console, and the controller firmware. But without further ado, let's jump into it. And we're just not going to focus today, huh? I think it's trying to focus on the reflection of my face here. Or trying to censor the knife for YouTube. But anyways, it does say 3D in the Analogue logo here. It is upside down. And like the Analogue Pocket and all the other Analogue consoles, it does have their classic label on here. But I'm going to carefully cut the plastic, hopefully without scratching the box. But there we go. I am just going to apologize for the the camera not wanting to focus. Maybe with the plastic wrap on, it won't do that anymore. Seems to be focusing now. Maybe it's just the plastic wrap. If I put my hands away, is it gonna? Nope. It was just the plastic wrap. Nice. All right. This box does feel pretty premium. I honestly kind of forget what the box felt like for the Analogue Pocket. All right. That is not a pleasant smell. Very soft foam, at least on the top here. Very nice. Very plush. I did get the white Analogue, and I'm kind of glad I did because apparently the black one is a fingerprint magnet, and this is seemingly a dust magnet though, because I can see all of the fuzzies from the foam on here. But we've got 3D computer graphics system written there or below the Analogue logo. We got a reset button, feels good, and then we have the power switch, which is it's more like a DS Lite power switch. It is not like the classic N64 switch. It will go back. So you're just flipping it up to turn it on and turn it off. We also have HDMI, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi logos here. We got the FPGA logo and Analogue 3D, the name of the console. And we've got a full cart slot in here that does not have the notches. So we can put any Region N64 game in here and it should work. Pulling it out, the whole base is just rubber foot. I kind of like that. Okay, well, it's still kind of easy to push, but it's not gonna like accidentally get knocked. Just doing that doesn't move. I like the rubber feet here, or the rubber plane, because it's all rubber, and that's where we get our FCC stuff. Blah blah blah. 9 volts at 3 amps. Interesting. We've got USB-C for power, 2 USB A's in the back, and an HDMI. Don't know which HDMI it is. Does it say? It doesn't look like it says. And then we have, oh man, it's annoying. It's not one of those SD card readers where you push on it and it pulls out. You have to awkwardly try and grip onto it and pull out. And it is a custom, slightly shorter SD card. It's also in white with the Analogue logo on it. Interesting. I don't know how big of an SD card this is, but yeah, that is the whole console. For controller ports here, this one is, oh, that's interesting. These two are slightly punched in. I don't know if you can really tell. And then these two are like flush with the console. I guess because it's kind of like very faintly curved at the front. I don't know if I like that. It looks a little weird. Yeah, you can kind of tell that on too. Anyways, hopefully that doesn't bother me too much. But I'm really nitpicking here. We've got fan grills that are kind of hidden on the bottom. Hopefully that's enough airflow for this thing. I mean, we've got fan grill on the back, but no, I'm guessing these are intake and this is exhaust. I'm assuming there's going to be a fan in this thing. We can put that down. I don't know if there's anything else left in here. Oh yeah, the cartridge cleaner stuff. That's kind of cool. I don't know what this is. Bluetooth pairing button. We got some very Apple-esque stickers in here. And do not insert or remove cartridges while running the game. Clean your game cartridges thoroughly before use. Which I think it's awesome that they have some cartridge cleaning stuff in here, which they're just some foam pads, and you can just wipe them back and forth in the cartridge. But if you've seen my pretty recent video where I fixed 164 cartridges, you can just use a Q-tip with some alcohol. I recommend 99% and just go back and forth both sides of the pins. You're going to get probably the same amount of gunk off. I mean, this might be better, but I'm going to save these for a rainy day. I'm not really going to test them right now, but I think this is a good idea. I think it's solid. And then this was just the quick start guide in there. And we've got a color matched USB A to C. Oh wait, no, this is a analog cable 01, I'm guessing. Is that what that means? Because this looks like a white HDMI cable. Very nice. And then we've got, I'm guessing this is our C to C cable. I would be surprised, yeah, if it was anything else. Which I will say I really liked the quality of their C to C cable for the Analog Pocket. I'm assuming these are going to be the same. This little shorter than 6 feet because I don't think I have a 6 foot wingspan, and it's not quite my entire wingspan there. So like probably 5.5 feet. Here's our brick. I'm probably not gonna use this for this console just because I have other bricks out in my living room setup, but I'll probably use it in here for testing and stuff at the very least. It is a USB power delivery quick charge brick. It will output 5 volts at 3 amps, 9 volts at 3 amps, 12 volts at 2.5 amps, and 15 volts at 2 amps, and 20 volts at 1.5 amps. So it's a 30-watt max. Interesting. Yeah, I've got like a 100-watt USB-C brick out in the living room. So I'll be using that because if you haven't been following along with the series on this channel, on the second channel, I've been USB-C'ing all of my consoles and handhelds, all of that stuff. So I can just use an HDMI cable and a USB-C cable to power and play pretty much every console, almost every console, home console wise now. Still got a few to do, but I have a lot of handhelds to go. So that is the unboxing experience. Let's see what's on this SD card before we wrap it up. Looks like we got library and settings, which games and images are empty, and settings, global, empty. Everything's empty. Okay. Looks like we have version 1.1.0. I'm going to click on the firmware guide. Updating manually via the SD card. The update process will take 3 to 6 minutes. Okay. The second I plugged it in, the fan kicked up. So there's definitely a fan in there. Guess I should get a controller and a game or something. I don't know. I just grabbed one of the Super Mario 64 Japanese cartridges that is in here and grabbed the N64 controller I test with. But should be able to just flick that on. And I put the SD card back in there, by the way. I don't know how necessary it is, though. I'm not getting anything. Did I put it on the wrong HDMI? No, we're on 3. Oh, okay. Just took a minute there. Press A. Yep, place it in. Open. It's pretty open area. I have to scroll all the way down. I read all of that. Get latest 3 OS. Okay. Skip OS update. Okay. In-game menu. Z. You can tell how much N64 experience I have because I had to look to double check. Z. In start, jump to inserted cartridge, pressing B. Okay. Right off the bat, it knows. It's not January 9th, 2025 at 9:52 p.m. Interesting. One of the things that they talked about in like the pre-release review videos was that Analog like uploaded all of the cartridge art info onto their systems, but nobody ever said like how you do that yourself. So I'm interested on how we would do that if we okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna go through all the settings here. I don't really have the time today. This was just supposed to be an unboxing. I didn't even see I didn't even look to see what firmware we're on, but that looks pretty darn good. Do I have to press and hold start and Z? Okay, that was weird. I was having a little trouble getting in here, but let's quit cartridge real quick because I want to configure. No, I want to see what firmware we're on. Is there not a way to? Okay, yeah. So it does ship with 1.0.0. Cool. That's all I want to know. Right now I'm on just a 1080p TV, but we can do 1080 50. Interesting. And I can't do anything else with it. Okay. I wonder what they've added if any of the initial reviews were on one version 1.0 or if any of them were on 1.1.0. I don't know. But let's update it real quick and then we'll end the video. So turn it off. Boom, we're off. I do not like that SD card thing. Why is it not a spring loaded one? But we should be able to just drag the firmware onto the root, safely eject it, and slot that bad boy back in here. And let's turn it on. We have a yellow light on the console and a little updating 3DOS in the corner that's going to be blocked by my lights. I don't know if this is actually going to take 3 to 6 minutes like they say, but while it's doing its thing, I would like to mention that there is Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Like I said, it's on the actual console, but from what I know so far, at least, the only actual Bluetooth controllers that they support on this console are the 8BitDo ones that they partnered with 8BitDo to make. And I think that's really lame. It'd be nice if we could get the NSO Bluetooth controller for the N64 working on here. It'd be nice if they just opened up the Bluetooth platform to like everybody because there's so many Bluetooth controllers out there that people could use. But, you know, as much as I love my Analog Pocket, the downsides are usually contained to the company's choices for analog stuff. So that's my biggest complaints always stem from Analog, the company, not their products. And one other thing I'd like to mention, because I was fully assuming that Open FPGA would be supported by this console. It is not. So we're going to have to wait for like an actual real jailbreak for this device before we can see any games loaded onto that SD card or any other fun things that we could do with an Analog Pocket that hopefully we'll be able to do with this console here. Because it would be nice to have NES and SNES, Genesis, a bunch of other lower tier consoles playable on this thing, even if we can't do it based off of cartridges. And even though we have to use a controller like this monstrosity, but it would just be nice to have that option, especially paired with other Bluetooth controllers. So we could use like an SNES controller or something like that. But yeah, okay, this is actually taking a while. One other thing I'd like to note while we're updating this here is we do have the lights blinking for the controller ports. Normally, that's something you'll see when you're trying to pair the Bluetooth controllers. Oh, and turn green. But as it was going through the update, it was blinking along like with the progress bar that we were seeing on screen. So we should be able to go to the settings and we are on the latest firmware. Woohoo! We did it. And now I still can't change any of the other settings other than 1080p, or I could take it to 50 FPS instead of 60. At least it's already on zero delay mode. That's nice. I don't remember seeing zero delay in the sync options before, but yeah. I wonder if that glitching at the top line is gone now, because that was one thing I saw in the reviews and at the beginning of this. Nope, it's still kind of there. It's kind of annoying, but I cannot get the menu to open. Oh, so just a quick press of both of them, not holding it at all. I'm a clean guy. I don't really care for the scan lines too much. I mean, it kind of looks nice with the scan lines and stuff. The edges are nicer, but I think I might prefer integer plus unless it cuts off too much. But it annoys me that it's cutting off the top and bottom a little bit. But I also don't like being completely letterboxed in here. Okay, I need to stop. I will mess around with this, and if you haven't already watched my full review, it'll be linked down below or probably popping up on screen right about now. Thank you for watching, and bye. Hopefully that video wasn't too boring. Mario's already asleep.